Hi guys, Dave here, and today I'm going to show you one of my favourite solos from the 1980s. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. The band was Tears for Fears. The guitar solo was played by a British session guitarist called Neil Taylor. Fantastic player. Okay, let's get into the lesson. The song's in the key of D, but the chord sequence that the whole solo is played over is just two chords, and they're both slash chords. So you've got a D bass all the way through, and the two chords over the top. You get an A major and then a G major chord over a D bass. So you kind of get this. Like that. So yeah, the key is D major, but it kind of has a kind of more like a G Lydian feel when you hear it against those chords. So it's a really nice thing to play over the top of, actually. You've got this 12/8 shuffle rhythm going on, and then this kind of very interesting, very nice chord sequence to play over the top of. Right, let's get into the actual licks. Bring up the tab here. Here we go. So the first bit, I'm pretty sure that throughout this solo he's made good use of some open strings, which means that you end up with some nice kind of big intervals happening within the solo. The other thing I would mention about him in general is that he's got a very strong vibrato. Not too wide, but yeah, a very strong vibrato. So anyway, first phrase. So we're on the first string, the E, and we're going to go 10, open, 5, open, and then 7 on the B. And then he adds that wide vibrato I was talking about. Then he plays the note one more time, slides it down. Like that. Okay. Next phrase, we're on 4G. Play it 3 times. Then slide up to 5. Then 2, 4, 2. Mad vibrato on that one. Like that. Then the next phrase, very similar. Well, rhythmically wise it is. So he does a little hammer pull off. That's 4-7-4 on the G, 7D, 4 on the G, 7, 9, then pick 9 again and bend it up. That's up a tone, so that's 2 frets, bend up to the 11th fret. Then what you're going to do is you're going to re-pick the bend and then add vibrato. So you get. Holds it for a bit and then slides it down. Not the easiest thing to do. Hold a bend while adding vibrato, so you might find if it's not something you've done before, then it might take a fair bit of practice. Generally speaking, when I teach students how to bend, I always say bend rather than push with the fingers. You really lock your fingers out and you bend from the wrist. You kind of pivot round. Use your forearm to get involved in the bend, and then you'll find it much easier to maintain a bend, and particularly if you've got to add vibrato as well, that's going to make the job a lot easier. Okay. Let's just get these notes. So we've got 7G, 5D, 7, add vibrato, and then we're going to slide from 8 to 10 on the B. Add vibrato on that one as well. Then we're going to play 10 on the E, repick it and bend it up a tone. Then we're going to jump down to the G string on the 7th fret, bend and release, 7D, and then we're going to do a bend and release on the 9th fret of the G, again another tone bend, go back to 7 on the D, and then slide into 8 on the B. Okay. Add a bit of vibrato. Carrying on the B string, we go 7, 10, 9 on the E. And then we're going to do a bend and release, but it's just going to be a half step, 1 fret. And then 7 on the B, add vibrato. I'm going to play a bit more of that phrase, so we got. I think I've written it as just a bend and release. You could, when I play this, I tend to do a kind of more like a pre-bend. So rather than playing 9 then bending it up and releasing, sometimes I pre-bend it up to the 10th fret and let it down. Yeah, either way sounds good, but that's something that I find myself doing when I play this solo. Okay, once we've played the 7th fret on the B, here's a few more open strings. This is the open G. You're going to play it 3 times. Then we're going to play 10 on the B. I'm going to play it 4 times and then go down to 7 on the D. I'll try and play it slowly in rhythm. I will do a slowed down version of this solo after the lesson, I think, just so you can get a clearer idea of the rhythms involved. But we kind of get, I'll take it from, here. Again, trying to maintain that triplet feel underneath. Like that. Okay, now the next bit you can hardly hear it. It's on the fade out, but I got as much of it as I possibly could. So let's just give you the first bar. So the first thing happens on the D string. So so you get, there's basically 5 notes. One of them's kind of a swung, and then you get a little triplet. The very last one of the triplet, though, it tends to be it's a muted off note, and I think it's just as he's gone to put the next note down that he's ended up with this little dead note, basically. So don't be too precious about it. I mean, if you play all of them as open Ds, that's fine. That's just what I noticed when I was transcribing the solo. I think it's just as he's getting into this kind of G major triad shape. And to play that, you play 9D, 8B, 7G. So it's a little G major triad. Then he plays a D major triad. For that, you're playing 10-7 on the B, and then 7 on the G. Okay, then the next bar. Right, so for that, we're playing 9-7 on the G, and then we're going to play quite a bit of a D major triad. It's all on the 7th fret. We can go 7D, 7B, 7G, 7D, and then I'm going to go to the 8th fret on the B string, play it, and then pick it one more time and do a bend and release. And that's a tone. Like so. Then we're going to go 7G, 7D, 5D. then 7G, and then 2 open Ds. So you kind of get like that. They're almost at the end. Got on the D we got 5, then open, then 7G, a bit of a vibrato there, and then this kind of little hammer pull off we did earlier. 4-7-4 on the G, little hammer pull off, finishing on 7 on the D, then jumps to 5 on the B, 5G, and then 6 on the G. And that's about as much as you can hear on the fade out. It's gone by that point. And even these last few phrases are very, very low at that point. So. There you go. So that's the entire solo. Probably in general, something I'd like to add about the solo is, I mean, he's very nicely phrased. He's, for the most part, he's keeping within that kind of 12/8 rhythm, playing a lot of triplets or kind of like swung rhythms in there, which was really nice. Like I said, it's pretty much in a key of D major, and he's used quite a lot of the major scale, so he's not just done the normal pentatonic approach that most guitarists would take while playing a solo over this. He's also managed to incorporate some of the triads, the arpeggios within. So again, it's a really nice thing to try and bring into your playing if you want to kind of become more melodic in your soloing. So the use of arpeggios, really great musical device. There's also some nice kind of gaps in there, and it just helps to kind of let the solo breathe. Dave Gilmour is another one that I always think of who's really great at kind of letting the music breathe while he plays. He's not constantly playing, whereas I think a lot of us, our tendency is just to constantly play over everything and not leave any gaps. But it can really, really improve the general quality of your solo if you do try and do that to some extent. Okay, well, I hope you get a lot from this lesson, and I will see you for one real soon.